September 19, as the water cools down, and we finally are having nights getting down into the 60s, where it wasn't long ago we had nights getting down to like 85. As the water cools down, what's an adaptation in our jig fishing that'll help us catch more fish sometimes? Good morning, guys and girls. September 18, reading from a Catch a Better Life book on the Catch a Better Life channel on YouTube, the most important channel on YouTube because it will change your life for the better. About 27,000 folks is all we got on there, but it absolutely changed your life for the better. People spend millions of dollars, billions of dollars in this country to try to make their life better. It's as simple as getting the Word of God every day, a devotional built around fishing, and a fishing tip for every single day, and your life will get better. Hit that subscribe button on this channel and subscribe to this channel right now. Tell your friends about it. You want better friends? Get them on this channel. They will become better friends. Today we're looking at the book of Proverbs 38. And it says, I love this one, remove falsehood and lies far from me. This is Agar speaking in Proverbs. This is not a proverb of King Solomon. This is Agar. Remove falsehood and lies far from me. Don't let me tell a lie. Don't let me tell a falsehood. And give me neither poverty or riches. Wow. What can I write about that? Lots about that. Here's what I wrote. Bass tournaments at the top pro level are the perfect example of poverty and riches. Win the tournament, it's $100,000 plus. Miss the money, $0. Nada, nacho, nothing. $0 if you miss the money. In some events nowadays, in some professional fish, everyone gets a check. I'd be a fun tournament to fish in. I got to admit, I don't think the only ones I ever fished in where everybody got a check was the Bassmaster Classic. Yeah, and that, in the early years of the Bassmaster Classic, only first place got a check. Second through 24, which is all allowed to fish it back in those days. 300 contestants competing all year, only 24 made the Classic. When you made the Classic back in those days, it was something really to be proud of. Nowadays, pretty much everybody makes the Classic, about half the field or over. And but in some tournaments, everybody gets a check. Everybody. 1 through 80 gets a check. Kind of like everybody gets a trophy at school sometimes. I don't like it that way. Truth be known, after the official practice days, where we try to locate fish and fine-tune patterns, usually allowed 3 practice days, most professionals don't think they have the fish found to win first place. That's true. Most of them won't admit that, but most of them don't believe they've figured out the right patterns, found the right group of fish to win the first place. But pretty much every single one of them think they can do well enough to catch one of the smaller checks in one of the other places. Sometimes even in tournaments in FLW where we had supposed to have 150 in a tournament, they let 180 in. They might give $4,000 down to another 15 or 20 places. So we call those the small checks. $4,000, much better than nothing. In today's verse from Proverbs, Agar was basically asking God, praying to God and asking him to bless him with what we might call today a middle-class state of life. Not poor or not rich. I grew up probably what would be called a middle-class family, just north of Moore, Oklahoma, the suburbs of Oklahoma City. A middle-class house in a middle-class neighborhood with a middle-class mom and dad. My mom and dad worked hard, long hours. My dad started as a cookie salesman for a big wholesale distributing company, worked his way up to CEO or president of that company. My mama started as a checker in a grocery store and worked her way up till she was running the entire bookkeeping department. They got raises along the way. They began to be able to buy a little bit better cars along the way. Both of them had a car. We were a middle-class family, what's called a middle-class family. Middle-class families have made America, America. We have a significant group of politicians in Washington right now trying to destroy the middle-class family in America. They want the elite, which is them, and they want poor people. They try to keep people poor that are poor. They try to do it by just handing out enough for them to get by and stay poor. And the middle class is what that problem they have with. The middle class has the right kind of morals. They have fathers in the households. They work hard. They pay their taxes. They go to church on Sunday, a good percentage of them. They're good middle-class people. They're ethical people, honest people for the most part. And that's the people that politicians want to destroy, because as long as we have the middle-class family in America, we'll have democracy. We'll have great armies. we'll have strength. We'll be united together. When we elect a president, we'll get behind that president, whether he's in our party or not. Doesn't make any difference. But we have politicians in Washington that's trying to destroy that middle class, because if they can destroy that middle class, they can get rid of democracy, they can institute socialism, they can be the rich people, have all the big benefits, the rest of us be poor. And they can keep us poor, they can keep us under their control. They got to destroy the middle class. Got to take away our guns too, by the way. I want to get off my soapbox. I didn't mean to get on that. I apologize for that. I apologize for that. But Agar was asking God. They didn't have a middle class back in that day and time, I don't guess. Maybe they did. He was asking God to give him a middle class state in life. The first part's easy. Nobody wants poverty. Lord, give me neither poverty nor riches. The second is actually humbling. Actually humbling. Agar did not pray for riches. Pretty much every Christian has prayed for riches. How many of you prayed to win that lottery the last time around? Oh my gosh, that's generational wealth. You can buy new cars for all your friends. You can buy a new house for all your really close friends in your family. Wealth, though, can create pride. And here's the other thing that wealth creates. Self-sufficiency that often leaves God out of one person's life. That's a sure path to failure. Many people, when they are blessed with riches, and everything we have comes from God. Everything we have comes. But many people, once that happens, they leave God out of their life. They don't do that overnight. They sort of do it little by little by little. Their pride builds up. Man, I'm smart. Man, I'm making the right decisions. Man, I'm working hard. Man, I'm smarter. I'm better than the other guys. I can do this. I can do that. Many athletes fall into that trap because at a young age, many of them are signing contracts of $50, $100, $200, $300, $500 million. They become automatically wealthy, and they think they've done it because they can throw a baseball real fast, or they can dunk a basketball, or they can throw a football right in a in a cornhole. That's amazing. That's amazing. But they become rich because of that. Many of them leave God out of their lives. When you leave God out of your life, can I tell you, that is a sure formula for failure. A sure formula for failure. God, I can pray this prayer. Remove falsehood and lies far from me. Don't let me embellish. That's easy for a fisherman. Don't let me lie. Don't let me lie. Give me neither poverty nor riches. I don't want to be broke, but I don't have to be wealthy. Here's our tip for today, and it's a pretty good one. A bucktail jig. That's the answer to the question. A bucktail jig will often outperform rubber-skirted jigs as the water gets colder. And when you get into the wintertime, when the water's sure enough cold, that bucktail works really good. Many times you don't even need to put a trailer on it. Just throw a bucktail jig. And one of the bucktail jigs that works really, really good is white. White. We didn't have that back when we were fishing bucktail jigs as a kid. White. Guys and girls, go out there and have your spectacular day today. Smile. Treat everybody like you love them. Treat everybody like they're special, because they are. And remember, I surely love you.